Bro, I'm telling you, when I get that sign-on bonus, first thing, car dealership, Hellcat.
No.
Yep.
You're going to invest in your future. No, you're going to invest in your future. You're not just going to go buy a car.
Can't hear you.
Oh my God. We're fucked.
Real quick, not to be before you long, but I was on this Instagram post, and it's where I keep getting comments about it. So let's do a video about it. So this post was simply about a bunch of wide body chicks. A bunch of young ladies in Atlanta who were bragging about their wide bodies, their Hellcats or whatever, Scat Packs. No, those were Hellcats. And instead of the post just being about, look at our nice little pretty pink and blue vehicles and our V8 engines and motors and whatnot, it turned into like shitting on black men for somehow. I guess, I don't know if one of the posters of the video was like, yeah, we doing it big, boys ain't got nothing on us or whatever. And I was like, nah. This is pretty common. If you go to any military base in the country, you see young men, 19, 20 years old, with these vehicles because, it's just what they do. Priorities, right? But for that reason, this made a lot of the women on the post upset, and I keep getting messages, and it's been like over 2 months about trying to deconstruct or rebut what I said. I simply just said that this is not special. This is not nothing new. This is not nothing, out of the ordinary for a young individual to purchase vehicles like these. In fact, like I stated, you go to any military base in the country, they're there. I have the National Guard working at my place of employment, and some of these guys got their first vehicle ever in their career because they're making crazy money, more than we were making doing the job that we do. And a lot of them are buying Hellcats and SRTs and all other letters that I don't know nothing about because I like old school vehicles. But yeah, that's all I said. Like, our parking lot is full of them. Like, the people who are from New York City, they like Lexus and BMWs, and then the white boys from the country, they like the F-250s. But the young dudes from in between the rest of the places in New York, they like their V8s and their Hellcats and their Hemis and their 5.7s. That's all I said, though. It's like, it's pretty common in military bases. It's pretty common. I'm sure anywhere there's young men who got decent money. So, whatever. Responses to that, well, most men ain't in the military. I never said that they were. There's only about like 500,000 to almost 400,000 of us in the military. This chick went far left, turned into like, well, it's most of y'all niggas is in jail and y'all can't get these. I'm like, huh? Like, where did all that come from? The handful of y'all women who have these vehicles now, maybe who are into it, that actually purchase them on their own compared to young men, I think it's not a comparable thing. These vehicles, especially in Atlanta, are pretty dumb to own anyways because the YNs be taking them shits, stealing them. But that wasn't the point. My point was just simply that this is common. This is nothing special. They didn't like me saying that for some reason. They wanted me to be like every other thirsty dude in the comment section, talking about they doing something that's special. And again, I don't think it's special. And it's funny how whenever women get in on the things that men generally been doing, men tend to like go do other things. Like, I remember in high school when girls started copying dudes and wearing Jordans and Timbs all the time. The fashionable dudes end up stop wearing Timbs and start wearing like Durangos and weird shit and leather jackets, looking like R&B singers or somebody out of one of those drug dealer out of 50 Cent shows. Like, it's weird. Like, when women start copying off men leave those spaces generally. And I'm not saying that car culture has had this happen yet, but I'm sure it will if they acting like this. Because it's like, why not just be like everybody else at a car show and stunt and show off your car and race and whatever you gotta do to it, instead of making it a gender thing. Like, it's just, that was just corny and reductive. It's no point in doing that. No, you're not special. Yes, these vehicles all over the place. And I even, because I'm thinking like, am I wrong? Let me go fact check myself. And I started doing a little research and finding out like, yeah, it's intentional that these car dealerships are placed around military bases. The marketing strategy of Dodge and these other companies and Chevrolet and all that was, well, we want high performance vehicles, but we don't want to make it difficult to get in for the average consumer, because BMW and Lexus, you need a certain credit score to get those and a certain amount of money down and whatever. Whereas you're getting better horsepower or close to horsepower as those vehicles, those so-called luxury vehicles, from a Mustang or a Hellcat or whatever. And it's like, you don't have to have a 700 credit score. Again, it's predatory, what I'm trying to say. They do that shit on purpose. It's weird. I remember working with this one guy, his son, they all had those Jeep Cherokees that had the V8 in it. And they stopped making them after like 2012 or 13, I think. I just seen one on Facebook Marketplace for like $25,000. But yeah, the brother had one. The brother had one. The one that I knew, his brother had two, and his son had one. Like, that was their little club thingy. That was their thing to do. These dudes weren't rich. They were working at a warehouse making like 50 grand a year plus. And they all had these vehicles. And one of them got his second one from a car auction, because somebody ain't paid that damn bill. The other brother was leasing his, but then he ended up buying it after he leased it. So that means he paid him there almost $80,000 for $90,000 for a $60,000 truck, because he double paid for it after he bought it after the lease was over. And I think their dad actually had one too. So that's another person. Their father had one. So from the father to the grandson, all had the same vehicle. Long story short, is that in car culture, this is pretty common. I can show a picture, probably at the end of this video, of one of the trucks I had back in the day with Lamborghini doors and all types of shit on it, wide body, kit, all that. But anyways, that's this quick video. I just don't understand how this turned into a gender war thing, simply because I said like this is pretty common if you go to any military base. That was just one example. There's other places of employment that, any young, what are NBA players buying when they first contract? What are NFL players buying with their first money? Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, anybody that get a little bit of bread, it's like a running joke is that, young black dudes like Hellcats and 300 Black Pistols, which I don't have a problem with 300 Black Pistols, but I will say it should be Hellcats and AKs. I mean, the little smart AKs, whatever that shit is, that you can't shoot nothing if you don't got no brace on it. Dracos, Hellcats and Dracos. That makes more sense than Hellcats and 300 Blackout. But it's like a running joke, and even in the gun community, it's like that's a meme or a joke about young dudes and what they're into. Why couldn't y'all just say we got them too? Why this turn into a competition? Why this turn into black men ain't shit and black men in jail and most black men ain't in the military? None of the things of which I said. Like, I work around this incarceration system. I know how that works. Has nothing to do with this conversation. I didn't say that most black men were in the military. I said of the ones who are, which is disproportionate to our population. Okay, a lot of these young boys have these vehicles. A lot of my friends who were in the military did that, bought these things for their first car. They old and grown now and got rid of them, or probably crashed them or whatever, or blew motors because they were actually racing them because they were into car culture, and they left their life behind after they had the kids and whatnot, because they don't want to get no accidents and kill nobody. But yeah, this is cool. You got a nice little pretty pink blue car and a BBL. Cool, I'm fine with that. But stop trying to make everything about men versus women. Stop trying to shit on dudes because your drug dealer baby daddy bought you a car, or you did enough OnlyFans for the month to buy the down payment on these whips. And there's a bunch of the cars in the video, but still, I'm just saying, just chill. Y'all making it corny. Like, I see why dudes leave spaces when women tend to come invade him and take them over. Because y'all just be acting retarded for no reason. It's no cause for any of that.